Hello, friends. It's Ric Beattie. I'm the senior minister here at Unity of Royal Oak, and it is my joy and an honor to bring you some ideas about Lent and about Ash Wednesday for sure, and about this journey that we're on again. And you know, the journey that we're on, and I talk about it all the time, it's just a journey of engaging life on its own terms, the journey of walking in relationship with the divine presence, with God. Those were concepts that were foreign to me until I went to a retreat at the age of 21 in Malibu Canyon, California. I was living in the LA area at the time. And the idea of a life in union with God was introduced as part of a spiritual renewal weekend that I was at called Excel. So a big nod to my brothers and sisters in the exercise and Christian community living. Back then I was a lot more traditional Christian than I am now, but always looking to follow in the way and after the way of Jesus the Christ. And I certainly am a Jesus dude. He's my elder brother and my way shower. So this evening's this is more going to be a mini service, and I had originally intended to do this with Kim Lange, our creative director, and she was going to do some music, and I was going to present a lesson and a meditation, and then I came down with a bronchial infection, or what I am assuming is a bronchial infection, and my doctor, wisely so, on Monday when I went to get an antibiotic, tested me for COVID-19, so I don't have my results yet back today because of the storms. Everything is delayed today because they go through FedEx, the samples. So I didn't want to take any risk with Kim, and so I'm going to share this from my home office. And I know I have a lot of books back there, but I've read the majority of them for sure. And I want you to know what an honor it is for me to be a spiritual leader, to be a pastor. And being a pastor is part of my own spiritual practice. I don't have all the answers, I've told you that many times, but I believe that we discern them as we travel together this road. And so I'm going to share some concepts, some ideas about Lent, about this season in the church's year. But first I want to share with you Daily Word, and I do so with permission of Unity, the publishers of Daily Word. And it's Wednesday, February the 17th, 2021, and the key word is Lent. And the affirmation says, I begin my Lenten journey and welcome a new way of thinking and being. I begin my Lenten journey and welcome a new way of thinking and being. On this Ash Wednesday, I give thanks for this holy season, a time of deep, prayerful contemplation. With faith, I commit to deepening my spiritual understandings and more fully express my divinity. I solemnly ask, which habits or thought patterns are keeping me from being the person I want to be? So think about that, and we're going to talk more about that. What habits or thought patterns are in the way of you being everything you can be? And this is not another opportunity to beat yourself up, to move into blame and shame. That's useless. If I could sing for you very good, I would sing, useless, hopeless. Anyway, back to Daily Word. I take time in the silence to sit with this question, open to whatever wisdom comes to me. And I'm going to come back to this as we move through the Wednesdays during this Lenten season, because it is important, I think. It's an opportunity we all have to sit with the deeper questions, to be in the stillness of the silence, and to invite Spirit to move in us. As I consider what to give up, I also think of what I'm giving to. I release old thoughts and patterns of behavior and welcome a new way of living. I release negative thinking to give myself the gift of positivity. I make a sacred commitment to the process of allowing the pure expression of my Christ nature to shine brightly through and as me. And the Bible verse for today's daily word is from Psalm 37 and verse 5. It says, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will act." Commit your way. Trust in God. Trust in the Lord. Trust in the I am, which is really what Lord should be translated at. It was often translated Jehovah or Yahweh, and it really is the Old Testament's idea of the I am, the very presence of God active and at work in all of our lives every day. I also am going to be sharing with you some concepts from the booklet. I don't know if I can get it on the camera well. Release and Renew, a Spiritual Practice for Lent 2021, published by Unity, World Headquarters at Unity Village. If you don't have one yet, I encourage you to get it. You could call Unity, or if you're local to us, you can swing by our building there at 2500 Crooks Road. There are some in the Book Nook, which is a little house that's right on the circular drive. This is a wonderful piece. I'll be using it for the journey through the Sundays, and I'll also come back to it over and over and over again. It's filled with pairs. So I want to look at today's reading and tomorrow's. If I can find the page. You can tell this isn't very scripted here, and I don't have any production support of any kind. It's just you and me, and sometimes I like it that way. Raw and real, because one of the things that I treasure above everything else is authenticity. And if you've known me for a while, you know that I don't have all the answers and I'm not perfect. And I willingly share my own journey and my own struggles sometimes. So the reading for today is about I release any belief in limitation. And the reading for tomorrow. So during the week, Monday through Saturday, these are in pairs. One day is about releasing something. The next day is about renewing something. Hence, Release and Renew. What a powerful title for a Lenten series leading us up to Easter. And tomorrow's reading is about I renew my sense of possibility. So I release any belief in limitation and I renew my sense of possibility. Now I'm just going to share a couple of concepts with you. And this was written by Reverend Sandra Campbell. She's at Unity Temple on the Plaza in Kansas City, Missouri. She's also the chair of the Unity Urban Ministerial School. And an amazing woman and an amazing Black leader in Unity. And I'm honored to read from her work as we are still in Black History Month. She writes this: in principle, we create our experiences by our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. When we entertain thoughts of lack, we attract more of the same and block our channels to new and better experiences. During the season of Lent, I set my intentions to release any belief in limitation. When such thoughts enter my mind, I quietly affirm that I am happy, whole, wise, and healthy, and I have plenty to meet my needs. By consciously letting go of stinking thinking, I give myself permission to see myself and the world around me in divine perfection. After all, thoughts held in mind produce after their kind, and you know that we call that the law of attraction. So as I read these words, I'm thinking about some of the things I have given up for Lent over the last 60 years or so. As a little baby, I didn't, but starting at about the age of 5, my grandmother found it her duty, and I was raised as a Roman Catholic, and although it's not my path anymore, I don't trash it in any way. I got a good education and a good spiritual education, a good foundation. But there was this concept of letting something go, not eliminating something from your diet, something you enjoyed. And so I remember, I think my first early memory of letting something go for Lent, giving something up, we called it, for Lent, was giving up gum. I wasn't even that big of a gum chewer, but I've given up gum, ice cream, chocolate chip cookies. As a kid, who knows, a lot of things. As I got a little bit older, I would give up we would also give up eating meat on Fridays because Jesus died on Friday, and so we should give us something up. But here's the deal, folks. That's operating at the level of cause, the level of effect, not of cause. The outer world that we live in is an outforming of our belief system, an outforming of our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, as Reverend Sandra said. You might as well try, and I've said it 1,000 times, I know, try and rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic. It doesn't matter. The boat is going down. We have to operate at the level of cause. What is the level of cause? It is mental. It is spiritual. It is the way we think and act and move and believe and embody what we believe. Our fifth principle is it's not enough to know the truth. You have to live the truth you know. So we have an opportunity for these next weeks till Easter, which is on, I believe, the 4th of April, which will be my 6th anniversary with Unity of Royal Oak, the beginning of April anyway. We have the opportunity to get serious, to get real. And what a powerful time to do that in this pandemic, because we all have stuff that we're struggling with a little bit, fighting with. I want it to be different. Well, if I want my experience of this experience to be different, I need to change. And one of the ways I can do that is by going in within, going into source, hitting the pause button on all of the stuff in the outer, and embracing something that is more true than true. Embracing the essence of life. I think we have an amazing opportunity during this time to get beyond the surface if we're willing. And I'm hoping that we are. I am. I'm going deeper than I've ever gone in my life. And some people have, said, Rick, hey, ease up. But no, I'm taking advantage of this time. I want you to, if you're willing, if you're interested in that, if you're willing to get real with yourself, to be honest. So I'm giving up some things, some concepts. One, I'm giving up the story that I sometimes tell myself about myself. And I can do that. I tell a story about myself that I have to work harder, longer, more to prove something to someone. I'm giving that up for Lent. In the past, I've talked about let's eliminate negative thinking as a concept. I have spent some time during this pandemic looking at ways that I have negative thinking. And I'm finding that it's almost always about myself anymore, not so much about other people. Occasionally, but normally more about me. One of my mantras for many years was I had to be the best little boy in the world to keep my mother from crying. And you see, we take on a whole lot of our belief system by the time we're 4 or 5 years old. And I watch it in my grandnephew, Noah, who's now 26 months old. And he, I see, and I'm very careful about the ways I speak to him and the way I talk to him and the consciousness I hold about him. So I don't know what the issues are for you. I don't know what is in the way of your next greatest version of yourself, but you know. And so give up hiding from it. Release that. We're all adults here. There's no blame or shame. Just have a look. Because when you have a look and you see something that isn't exactly what you would want it to be, you have the power to choose. You have the power to change your mind. You have the power to eliminate, use the power of elimination, release elimination, and the power of imagination, coupled with love. The powers all work together. You can release what no longer serves you and embrace something new. I'm imagining some new things. For me, at this point in my life, at 65 years old, I'm not done. There are things that I want to experience and explore yet. So I'm really focused on eliminating my self-judgments, my being annoyed with myself sometimes, my unrealistic expectations of myself. And so that's one thing, letting go of the story that I tell myself about who I'm supposed to be. And I'm embracing who I am as a child of God, who I am as a spiritual being. Our 5 principles, simple. I love them. I'm going to use the kids' version. God is. I am. God is all good. Omnipotence. I am a reflection of God. I am an embodiment of that. I am a unique expression of that. And I think, because it's with my thoughts that I choose. I think, I pray affirmatively, and then I live the truth that I know. I live it. Not just think about it, not just talk about it. Long ago, when I first found this way of living called unity, I was telling everybody about it. I was reading people's stuff all the time like I thought I knew something. And I guess I did. I mean, I would get people excited because I was excited. I'm still excited. I'm excited because if you knew me 50 years ago, 40 years ago, I was a very different person. And I'm still changing. I'm still becoming. You can change and become as well if you choose. You don't have to. Not forcing anything on anybody. You get to choose. Anyway, I want to share with you just a couple of ideas from the reading out of the booklet for tomorrow, which is the 18th, which is my mom's birthday. Would be her birthday if she were still with me. I renew my sense of possibilities, the affirmation. And Sandra, again, it's Reverend Sandra Campbell's writing. Our beliefs have powerful control over our achievements. Our experiences are in direct correlation to how we view ourselves and our world. How do you see yourself? As open-minded? A beloved of God? Beloved child of God? Looking at the world through a wide-eyed sense of wonder? Looking at the world through the lens of possibility, thinking that you can do all things. The scripture says, in Romans 8:28 says, I can do all things in Christ, which strengthens me. Because I don't have to rely on me. I'm surrendering to something bigger. Through Christ who strengthens me. The core of me, the core energy of me, the very life in me, the life in you. God is not a respecter of persons. I have nothing special that anybody else doesn't have. And we all have that same thing special, and that is this Christ in us, this energy of God, this activity of God, which it has 12 gifts or 12 aspects of that consciousness. We call them the 12 powers. You heard quite a bit from me and my team last year about the 12 powers. You're going to hear even more this year because these are our helpers. They can help us achieve what we want to. I spoke a moment ago about the power of elimination and the power of imagination, brought together by the power of love, which is the great binding and attracting force in the universe. So what is it that you want to accomplish at this point in your life? And I invite you to think about that and maybe make a note to consider it. Maybe I'm going to lead a short meditation soon, not long enough to really get some good answers, but hopefully enough to whet your appetite to deepen your spiritual practice during this Lenten time. My dear friend and one of my teachers, Martha Creek, says over and over, it's a quote I love, I've shared it with you before, practice, 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 practice makes progress. Give up the perfection. But we're seeking to progress, right? We want to be different today than we were yesterday, and I'm fairly certain that I am different today than I am yesterday. Certainly different this year than I was last year. Certainly different now than I was 6 years ago. So this is where we are progressing. We are progressively evolving beings if we lean into it. As I was talking about, the pandemic, I think, it gives us an amazing opportunity to lean into something, to think about it differently perhaps than we ever have before, to think about life. Do we have what we want? Even what's going on down in Texas with their power situation, they're not prepared. No fault of theirs, and yes, a fault of theirs. How do we take our experience and make ourselves better? How can we create a world that works for everybody? How can we create a world it's a win-win-win? And I believe we can. I believe that those of us in Unity and the other New Thought movements Centers for Spiritual Living, Religious Science, all these movements that we call New Thought, it's a willingness to take a new look at all of it. We got here where we are right now in the United States of America and globally as a result of our collected consciousness. The choices, the beliefs, the thoughts, all of it that we hold in our minds and that we use as a template, a pattern for demonstration. The whole reason for spiritual practice is so that we can get better at it, right? To be more real with myself, to be more honest with myself. Every once in a while I find myself really down in it, in the thick of it. And then, and it almost always has to do with the story that I'm telling myself. I recently had a thing going on with a very dear friend of mine. And I was taking some stuff real personal that I should never have, but I was. I'm a human being. And this other person, I think, was too. I was making up a story, and so were they. And we were believing our stories. At least I'll own my piece of it. So we recently had a healing, and that was an amazing thing and such a good thing for me. So during this time of Lent, it isn't about giving up something in the external, like giving up ice cream would change your life. Well, it might help you take off a few pounds if that's an issue. Or giving up pasta, or your favorite meal, or your favorite restaurant, or anything that you can think about giving up on the exterior. And give up something, a belief, a pattern, a habit. Because back of every attitude, attitudes are just habits of thinking. We become habitualized. We do the same things over and over and over again. I see it in myself, particularly as I get older. It's easy to get stuck, and I'm not wanting to be stuck in life. So I invite you to use this time deeply, to self-examine, to spend some time every day, maybe at the end of the day, reviewing the day. Marianne Williamson used to say, if we would give the Holy Spirit 5 minutes a day, that would be enough. Well, I like to do it morning and night, so a little bit more than 5 minutes. But get this book, read the readings along with me. Know that me and several other members of our community are reading these readings, pondering them deeply, internalizing this information, and then seeing what arises, right? Inviting the Holy Spirit to move in us and let something rise up and be alive in you, new life. The journey toward Easter, the journey of Easter, is the preparation for a brand new experience of life. I've been working on the Sunday Talk series so I can be ahead of Kim, and it's going to be a different series this year. It's going to be different, probably because I'm different, because we're all different. Life is different, isn't it? And can you believe, before I get into the meditation, can you believe that it's been almost a year since we've been meeting virtually? And I am so honored and blessed and proud of our spiritual community at Unity of Royal Oak. Someone said to me, "Oh, Rick, the church is closed." No, it's not. The church is wide open in ways that in the past we only imagined. Because the church is wherever we gather. That includes right now in this space. You and I are the church. Whoever is connecting with this message, as whenever you connect with it, right? We put it out there at 7 o'clock on Wednesday nights Eastern time, but you connect with it whenever you do. And because we are all connected, we're all one, we're all reflections of that life that we call God. You could call it life with a big L, capital L. Universe. Wisdom. It has many names. It doesn't matter. Call it whatever you will. So I hope that you'll be along on this journey. I hope that something I've said for this midweek has touched you. It isn't about giving up something other than your own story that you tell yourself about yourself, or the story you tell about other people. This coming Sunday, I'm going to talk about forgiveness. That's on the 21st. And then I want you to know that on the 28th, for those who are voting members of the church, you will be getting an email from us in the next few hours with instructions on how to join the annual meeting And for those of you who have not yet become voting members, we will stream our annual meeting out to Facebook, to our Facebook page, because we can only stream live and do Zoom at one time. So that meeting will be on Zoom. And I'm looking forward to sharing some things with you. We're going to, we have a couple of board positions open. We're going to be filling those. And one other thing before I do the meditation, because I like to get the announcements out of the way first. People are still buying a lot of stuff from home. Many of you shop from Amazon. I'm not saying yes you should or no you shouldn't, but if you do, please start your shopping trip. If you use the app on a phone, you can set a donation, a charity. It's called Amazon Smile, and they give a bit of money to us. And it's just a little bit. It's a very fraction of a percentage, but over the year it adds up. Because so many people are shopping at home, some aren't remembering to do that. So if you set it on your phone, it stays. If you're shopping from your desktop or your laptop computer, you have to start at smile.amazon.com, not just amazon.com, smile.amazon.com. And then if the first time, you need to pick your charity and search for Unity Church of Royal Oak. You'll find it there. And then quarterly, we get a small check from them or a small ACH deposit. And every little bit helps. Okay. I'm going to start some music. And this is some music that Kim Lange, our creative director, and my colleague she helps a whole lot in so many ways, the creative process, bouncing ideas off of her and being with her. It's a piece of music that she wrote specifically for us to use during meditations, and it's called 6 Degrees of Meditation. Again, it's by Kim Lange. She owns it, and it's used with her permission. So I'm going to invite you to sit back and let yourself just be still for a few minutes. And let me make sure that we won't be interrupted. Okay, I invite you to get comfortable. I'm going to get comfortable in my chair. You hear a little snore, it's my dog laying at my feet. Allow yourself to relax. So many of us are carrying around the weight of the world. You don't need to. You can put it aside. You can take it up again if you choose. And notice your body. Notice your... What is that about? Hang on a minute. You can tell that this is not being changed because, or not being edited because I'm not good at that. Kim is, and again, I didn't want her to be with me today. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. So, become centered and still right where you are, and notice your body in space. Notice your body, this container, this suit of clothes that your spirit lives in, that your soul lives in. Meditation for me is taking good care of the body, because it is the container for my soul. And that means also remembering to relax. So allow yourself to relax into this time and into this space. Take a deep breath with me. Breathe in. Hold it. Sigh it out. And the reason I ask you to sigh it out, hear it, feel it, it's about feeling it. Feel the stress, the tension drain away from you. So take a deep breath in. Hold it. Sigh it out. One more deep breath in. Hold it. And sigh it out. And now I invite you, meditation is merely turning away from the outer to the inner, refocusing our attention on the inner world, the inner life. So move into that place, wherever the center of you is, by following your next breath inward. I'm going to do that one more time. Follow your next breath inward. You can meditate with your eyes open or closed. I sometimes do both. Don't let that get distracted. The point is not to watch what I'm doing. The point is to allow yourself to take a break from the world that's doing all the stuff it does all around us. To shift our attention from the world of effects to cause. And the cause of the life that lives us is, the cause of our life is the life that lives us, is the life of God. Whatever you call it, Jesus, Buddha, Allah, Muhammad, it doesn't matter. Kuan Yin, many names, no name. Let us, you and I, spend a little bit of time in the stillness and in the silence. And if you should hear anything that distracts you, choose to think of it as a reminder to turn within. The way we do that is to bring our attention back to the breath and to follow the next breath inward. Or if your mind wanders, and it will wander, it will, just bring it gently back to your breath and to follow that very next breath inward. Allow yourself with each breath to relax your body a little bit more, to relax your muscles, to release any tension that might be stored there. Allow yourself simply to be the God being that you are. Allow yourself to experience your divinity. And should anything distract you, simply bring your attention back to your breath and follow your next breath inward. For there are always distractions in the world around us. Loud things, noisy things, unexpected things. It's almost impossible to eliminate them. I've learned that I can meditate in a noisy room with my eyes wide open. Depends on where I focus my attention. Remove your focus on the world of effects and shift it to the world of cause. And then just follow your breath back inward to the interior of you, to that place where the Christ reigns supreme in all of its glory. Before we conclude this time together, I invite each of us to call to mind any experience, circumstance, or situation that we would like to wrap in prayer energy, wrap in love energy. Think of it that way. Wrap in a soft blanket of love. We had a bunch of snow yesterday when I woke up, and parts of the country are still getting snow. So we just imagine that we have a blanket, like a blanket of snow, but think of it as a blanket of love. And wrap that around whatever issue is arising for you. Perhaps those dear ones who are responsible for getting vaccines distributed and injected into people. It's a big responsibility. Let's bless them. Instead of being annoyed with them, instead of being frustrated, let's bless them. And for our beloved brothers and sisters down in Texas and the surrounding areas who so many people without power and this frigid cold that they're not used to, let's wrap them in a blanket of warmth. We don't know what is needed to get their power restored, but we know that there are people working on it. And we bless those people, trusting that the wisdom in them is guiding their steps. And let's imagine our political leaders, no matter what party of the many parties that serve this country, two dominant ones, but there are many, working together for our common good. And now I invite you to bless your family, all of your family members. And if there's one that annoys you, really bless that one. That's where to do the work. Remember that right where you are, God is. We'll say that prayer in a few minutes. Right where you are, God is, and right where everyone is, God is. And let us bless our beloved planet. For we are dealing with this pandemic, all of us, the whole planet. I have friends in South Africa and friends in Europe, and we are connected through technology. It's not as good as being together, and yet, in this time, it's what we have. So let's take advantage of it. And now, receive a blessing. I'm blessing you right now in this moment. Blessing you. To bless someone means to want the highest and best for them. And I want the highest and best for you. I want you to have the life that you want to have. It doesn't matter what I think it should be. I call that the gospel according to Ric Beattie. What's important is what you want. Let us work together to create a world that works for everyone. Because the truth is, there's just one life and we share it. There's only one presence and one power. Some of us call it God. Some call it Jesus. Some call it other things. It doesn't matter. Just call it. Just call it. My beloved friends, we appreciate you, your faithfulness, those of you who call Unity of Royal Oak your spiritual home. Your faithfulness with your prayers for our leadership team. Your support by starting your Amazon shopping with smile.amazon.com. Your faithfulness to support this community financially. All of these things, we appreciate you. I bless you. Whatever you're doing this week, tonight, and this week, know that the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. All is well. Visit our website at unityofroyaloak.org. We have a lot going on. Tomorrow night, on Thursday night, the 18th, at 7 Eastern Time, we're going to be hosting through Zoom. We're going to watch the video called the Reuniting America, or the Reunited States of America. Reunited States, it's called. Anyway, you'll see it on our Facebook page, on our website. Come on and be a part of that. Have a conversation. Let's have a look at how we can be a part of the solution. It's easy to complain, gripe, to hold a judgment about others and what they should be doing. What can we do? I hope that you'll journey along with me and with this community as we move through Lent this time and into Easter. And I hope that you get real clear about the life that you want. Because it's your life. You get to choose. And I'm going to choose mine. I hope you choose yours. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Namaste. By the way, if I can support you in some way, email me. It's ric@unityofroyaloak.org. I'd be happy to connect with you. I'd be honored. God bless.